Hey everyone. In this video, we'll be covering adding the HUD scene, HUD, or heads up display, into our other scenes in our Unity platformer. So we'll be doing this all through visual scripting, just like we have for the last several videos. And this one should be relatively easy. While we won't be programming all of the nuts and bolts, like the hearts, getting the keys and the kind of objects in the HUD working, we will be adding a scene onto our other scenes. So this will be pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we can go ahead and jump right in. So last time we worked on our flag. That is working. Our player is running. We can take damage from the spikes. Now we want to be able to see our health. And in the next level and in the next video, I'll be covering keys and doors. So we want to get ready for some of that. Now, the first thing we'll do is go to our scenes. And we have this scene called HUD. So we'll open that up. And when you first open up, you won't see anything. If you scroll around, so I'm doing this by middle mouse, like click and hold, and you can get this little hand icon and you kind of pan around the scene. I can also zoom out. If you have a middle mouse scroll, you can just scroll out. And if I scroll out, you'll see that now I'm starting to see this scene here. Now, this scene is constructed using canvas or canvases, which is what Unity uses to create UI components or user interface. So a lot of times this will be help, in this case, help points or little hearts, kind of like Zelda or other games like that. And we have a key icon that the player can pick up and open doors. And then we have a projectile that the character or the player will be able to open up. We also have a pause menu, and we do have a main menu, but that HUD or that UI component is going to be in the menu scene. So for now, what we're going to be doing is applying this scene onto our level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4 scenes. So what we'll be doing is I will jump right into level 1. So I just want to show you that scene. So now I'm still in the same view. You can see that that HUD was actually much, much, much larger than our little scene right here with our character and all our platformers and our platforms and different items like that. So that's just something to keep in mind when we talk about Canvas and UI in Unity. It exists as almost a separate kind of entity than our game objects. So that's an important differentiator. Now, to zoom in quickly into my character, and this accounts for any kind of thing, I can zoom in. It might take a minute. But what I can do is go to my hierarchy. If I select my player, and then with my cursor in the scene view, if I hit F as in Franklin, I can zoom in to that specific object that I have selected. If I hit F again, I'll zoom in even closer. And if I hit it one more time, I can kind of zoom out and toggle between these two kind of close up and kind of honed in view. So that's just something to keep in mind, and you can do that for just about anything too. Now, to add our HUD scene onto our other scenes, all we have to do, and this is really exceptionally easy in visual scripting, more so than traditional coding, all we have to do is go to our macros, and we're going to make a new code or a new script. So I'm going to go to right-click and create visual scripting and script graph. And I'm going to call this HUD loader. There we go. And I'm going to double click on it to open it up. And I'll open it up here. Notice how I don't have a start or update. And I do want a start event in this case. So I'm going to right click and just type in start. And on start is what I want. There we go. And from here, I'm going to click scene manager and load scene. And then I'm going to use scene name and mode. So in the past, whenever we were switching scenes, we just used scene name. In this case, I'm going to use scene name and mode because I want to change the mode of this scene. First off, I'm going to type in my scene name as HUD, capital H, capital U, capital D. Make sure you spell that correct. And then the mode, I'm going to choose additive. So what this does is it doesn't choose a single scene and swap them out. It actually adds my HUD scene on top of the current scene that I'm in. Now, this script is just a script. It's not attached to anything right now. It doesn't do anything. So to create an object that loads us in, what I'm going to do is go into my hierarchy up here. I'm going to hit this plus sign, and I'm going to create empty. And I'm going to name this HUD loader, just like that. And now I'm going to So this is essentially a completely blank object. There's nothing in here. It does not do anything. It's just a position. So I'm going to hit add component. I'm going to choose script machine, and I'm going to choose my script graph. Now I can do this a couple different ways. I can drag and drop. So I can just drag my HUD loader and drop it right in there, and I should be good to go. Now let's play and see what this looks like. Oh, perfect. Now I have my pause menu in here. See, I can jump around or move, but I have this pause menu in here, and I want to turn this off right now. So what I'm going to do is go into my scenes, go into HUD. I'll save. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out a little bit and toggle over here. And just look at this. I'm going to toggle down this HUD icon in my hierarchy, and I see that I have several things. So an event system, this is typical for any kind of canvas element or UI element in Unity. You need an event system if you have a canvas or UI components. We have a row, which just pertains to my hearts, key, and projectile icons. And then we have a pause menu, which has several other components. If I toggle these down, I see tiles, I see buttons. I can toggle down my buttons. I have resume, menu, and quit, and so forth. And these can toggle down even more. All I want to do is select my pause menu. And I'm just going to turn off this pause menu for now. And the easiest way to do this is just go over to the inspector and just uncheck this pause menu box. And now the visibility is essentially turned off. So I'm going to hit Control S to save. I'm going to go to level 1. And then if I play again, I should play with my hearts and my key and my projectile at the top, but I can see my player. There we go. Beautiful. Now, if I go to level 2, we'll see that this does not persist. So what I need to do is create a prefab object of my HUD loader. And I can easily do that by going into my prefabs folder, selecting my HUD loader in the hierarchy, and dragging and dropping it down. And if I let go, you'll see that it adds a new icon down here. It's called HUD loader. And you'll see that my HUD loader icon goes from white text and a hollowed out little gray box to a blue box with blue text. This indicates that I have a prefab object right here. By creating a prefab object, what I can easily do is go into level 2, grab my prefab and drop it in there, and do that for all of my other levels. And that's what I want to do here. I'm going to add my HUD loader to every level that will need a HUD, which is going to be level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we'll go to level 4, and I'll save. And I'll just drag and drop that prefab in my hierarchy, and I'll Control S to save. And now let's go back to level 1. We'll play through here and go to level 2 and make sure our HUD is still there. Okay, level 1 has my HUD. Oh, I died. My HUD still reloads. All right, and my HUD is in level 2. Perfect. So that's it for the HUD. This is really easy. We'll get to the key and door in the next video. So let me know if you guys have problems, and good luck.